Hi, it's Steve here from Mobile Mentor. I head up the analytics team, and what I want to do today is give you a brief demo of how to use our mobile expense management portal. So today I'll first of all I'll give you a bit of a overview of the functionality. So basically this will sort of teach you how to drive the reports, and then I'll just walk through an example of a common scenario on how the portal might be used. Okay, so the portal can be launched straight from a shortcut on your desktop. So that can be created just by going right-clicking the desktop, new shortcut, and putting the hyperlink in there and giving it a name. So if you click on that, it'll take us to the landing page within the portal. So we have a little bit of information around just some Mobile Mentor news, and these are the two core pieces of information you have here. So the bottom is this the current video demonstration, just a link to walk you through the functionality of the site and a scenario, and then this is the demo site. So first of all, I'll give you an overview of the basic functionality of the site, and then I'll just walk through a scenario in terms of how the site is often used. So the portal consists of three core blocks. So the top consists of what we call slices. So these slices are things like bill date, the location of the office, the team, cost center, the username of the staff member, the type of mobile phone usage, the origin of the call, whether it's a roaming call or local call, and whether the call is made inside or outside hours. So these slices allow us to basically drill down into the bill and understand subsets of the total bill. So that may be, for example, a user on a particular for a particular month and on a particular usage type, and for example also roaming. The next little block of the scorecard provides the summary bill statistics for the company. So it has things like the total charge through time by usage type, a split of the charges by team, geography such as the location of the various company offices, and then by cost centers. And then finally down the bottom we have employee usage statistics. So we have the charges by individual staff members. Then we have things like the associated minutes of voice used, the megabytes of data used, and the text messages used. And these are all sorted in descending order with a heat map over the top. So the highest charges are at the top and the lowest charges are at the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll just show you now an example of how the portal is used. So what we see on the left hand side here under bill by invoice date, we can see a trend of spend through time. And we see that spend is averaging, for this customer, who's a very small customer, $3,000 per month. But we see that in February the spend spiked by about $2,000. So we can use the portal to understand why that spike occurred. So we can, first of all, we can click on the bill date slicer and look at just the February period when the blowout occurred. With this portal, when we click on a slicer, it does take a few seconds to render. The reason for that is we've got hundreds of thousands or millions of cells of data in the back end of this report, and the reporting is actually producing these views on the fly. So those hundreds of thousands of millions of cells of data are being aggregated on the fly. So so you can sort of understand why there is a slight lag. But considering what's going on in the background, it is amazingly fast. So we've filtered down just to the February period, and we can see if we look at the top employees by spend, we can see that Lisa O'Donnell and Mark O'Toole were big spenders in that month. So we might want to, for example, pick one of them. Actually we'll pick both of them initially. So we'll look at Lisa O'Donnell and Mark O'Toole. So we can go over to the username slicer, and we can click on Lisa O'Donnell. What we can also do is control click and select Mark O'Toole, and that'll allow us to click two people at the same time. And we see that these users spent $1,099 and $1,016 in total. We can also actually drill down to this bill in more detail and actually understand why those users had blowouts. And we might know that these two users are sort of senior execs and roam a lot. So let's look at that dimension of the bill. We can click on roaming, and we can see, like, for example, Lisa O'Donnell, $942 of her bill, of her $1,099 bill, was linked to roaming, and a very similar proportion for Mark O'Toole. So if we wanted to, for example, just look at Lisa O'Donnell, we can click on her slicer, and we can see what is the actual breakdown of that bill by usage type. So you can see that it was, while she was roaming, roughly about 50% of her bill was linked to voice, and 50% of her bill was linked to data. If we look at Mark O'Toole, we can see that all of his bill was essentially linked to data usage while roaming. So that is I suppose, a very quick demo of how to use the site. One last element too is you can remove the filters, such as the staff filter, by clicking on the small icon with a filter and a cross up in the top right hand corner. Another cool little piece of functionality is you can actually download particular components of the bill by using the download snapshot. So that's just pulled it down here. I can open that up, and that is Lisa O'Donnell's component of the bill. So probably the best way to really get familiar with the portal is jump across and just start playing with it. It's a great piece of technology, and it really provides a lot of insight into where your company is spending money in the telco space.